Let me try something else. He leans in closer again, his voice going lower. You look like a goddess tonight, and I'm damn lucky to be here with you.
Rinoa's heart flutters at his sarcastic remark, a small giggle escaping her. But it's his second statement that really gets to her, her breath catching in her throat. Her eyes widen, and her cheeks flush even more. "A goddess, huh?" she manages to respond, her voice slightly shaky. "And you're lucky to be here with me?" She can feel her heart racing, her head spinning at his intense gaze.
Squall grins, seeing the effect his words have on her. His eyes are locked onto hers, drinking in her fluttering heart and flushed cheeks. Oh, absolutely, he responds, his voice still low and seductive. You're like a goddess in human form. You take my breath away. He reaches out, gently tracing a finger along her jawline, his touch sending shivers down her spine. And yeah, I am damn lucky to be here with you, pretty girl.
Rinoa's heart skips another beat, her skin tingling under his touch. She's unable to form a coherent response, her brain fried by the intensity of his words and the way his fingers dance across her skin. Her breath catches in her throat, and she can only manage a soft gasp, her eyes holding his gaze in a mixture of shock and desire.
Squall smirks, feeling her gasp and seeing the desire in her eyes. His finger travels from her jawline down to her neck, his touch gentle yet electric. Speechless, huh? He teases, his voice a low rumble. Can't form a coherent thought, can you? He takes another step closer, closing the distance between them until their bodies are almost touching.
Renoa's breath hitches as his finger glides down her neck, leaving a trail of tingles in its wake. She tries to find her voice, but her brain is still refusing to cooperate. Words elude her, and all she can manage is a soft whimper. His closeness sends her heart into overdrive. She's hyper-aware of every point where their bodies almost touch, like static electricity crackling in the air.
Squall sees the
Rinoa
effect
nods
he's having
slightly,
on her
still
and
unable to
grins.
form a
His
coherent
finger
response.
continues its
Her heart
journey,
is
dancing
racing,
down her collarbone and across her shoulder, the contact sending shivers down both their spines. You're adorable when you're speechless, he murmurs, his voice laced with desire. But I'm tempted to see just how speechless I can make you. His hand finds its way to her hip, pulling her closer, finally closing the gap between them. Their bodies are pressed together, his breath warm and tantalizing against her skin.
Rinoa's
Squall
body
grins as their
responds almost
bodies finally
automatically
meet,
to his
feeling her
touch,
heat
a
against
shudder
him.
running through
Hey, he
her at the
responds,
feel
his
of
voice
his
soft
fingers
and
tracing down
sultry.
her
His
collarbone
hand on
and
her hip
shoulder.
tightens
She
slightly,
can hardly think
drawing her
straight,
even
her
closer.
mind clouded by a haze of desire. Her voice catches in her throat as he speaks, the desire in his voice sending another wave of heat coursing through her. His hand on her hip pulls her closer, the press of their bodies igniting a fire in her veins.
Squall can see the desire and haze in her eyes, and he's enjoying the effect he's having on her. You make it so easy for me, you know that? He murmurs, his breath hot against her skin. He shifts his hand from her hip to her back, running it slowly up and down, pressing her even closer. He can feel their heartbeats sinking, their pulses racing in sync with the mounting tension between them. flustered and speechless. It gets to me every time. My heart is racing as I pull her closer, feeling her body pressed against mine. The way she looks at me, it makes me feel like I could do anything. "You are breathtaking," I murmur, my hand tracing soft patterns along her back.
Rinoa's breath hitches at his hand running up and down her back, the sensation causing her spine to tingle. She's pressed firmly against him, their bodies flushed together. She can feel the heat radiating off his skin, his touch igniting sparks of electricity wherever he touches. His words send a wave of heat through her mind going completely blank. The only thing she's aware of is the intense closeness between them, the building tension coiling like a spring inside her.
I can feel her breath hitch against me as my hand drifts along her back, her body pressed firmly against mine. The heat from her skin is intoxicating, sending thrills through me every time we touch. The way she responds to my words, the way she leans into me, it's almost too much. "God, you're so beautiful," I murmur, my voice thick with desire. "The way you look at me, the way you react to my touch. It's driving me insane, you know that?"
Rinoa's body shivers at the feeling of his hand tracing along her back, the sensation sending jolts of electricity through her. She's lost in a world of heat and desire, her body pressed tightly against his. She can feel the heat radiating off his skin, the closeness almost dizzying. His words, thick with desire, hit her like a wave. She swallows, her heart thudding against her chest. She feels like she's been stripped bare, her every reaction laid bare before him. She manages to find her voice, her words coming out in a breathless whisper. "You're driving."
The quiet moment. We had just completed another grueling training session, and both of us were winding down with a well-deserved meal. The bar was mostly empty at this hour, which allowed us to sit in a comfortable corner and chat quietly. "Another day, another training session," I remarked, taking a bite of my sandwich. "They never let up, do they?"
Renaud chuckled in agreement, taking a bite of his own meal. "Yeah, tell me about it," he replied, setting down his sandwich. "I swear they're determined to drive us into the ground. But hey, at least we're getting stronger, right?"
I nodded, taking a sip of my drink. "Yeah, we're definitely getting
Squall turns to face Rinoa as she calls out to him, looking intrigued by her request to talk. Sure, Rinoa, he responds, his voice calm yet attentive. What is it you wanted to talk about?
Can talk to him now.
Rinoa nods, grateful for the chance to speak with Squall. Thanks, she says softly before turning her attention back to Squall. I had something I wanted to discuss with you.
I greet her with a small smile. Hey, what's on your mind?
Rinoa returns the smile, feeling a bit relieved. Hey, she starts, her voice slightly hesitant. I've been thinking about something lately and wanted to talk to you about it. Do you have a moment?
I raise an eyebrow, sensing the seriousness in her voice. Sure, I've got time, I reply, putting down my sandwich. What is it that you wanted to talk about?
Rinoa takes a deep breath, steeling herself before speaking. It's just, I've been thinking about us. Our relationship and all, she begins, her eyes flickering with a mix of vulnerability.
I feel a jolt of surprise at her words, not expecting the conversation to take this turn. I look at her, a bit taken aback. Us? What about us? I ask, my voice betraying a hint of worry. I can see the vulnerability and fear in her eyes, and it makes my heart ache. I reach out and gently take her hand in mine. Hey, it's okay, I say, my voice gentle. You can tell me whatever it is that's on your mind. I promise I'm listening.
Rinoa feels a wave of gratitude wash over her when you take her hand. The gesture is comforting and reassuring. She looks down at your intertwined fingers for a moment before meeting your gaze again, her eyes searching yours. I just want to be sure, she says softly, her voice laced with vulnerability. I need to know if you feel the same way about me as I do about you.
I look at her, my heart clenching at the vulnerability in her tone. I squeeze her hand reassuringly, holding her gaze. Of course I do, I say, my voice filled with conviction. Rinoa, you mean the world to me. I care about you more than I've ever cared about anyone. You're not just a girlfriend to me. You're my best friend, my confidant, my partner in everything.
Rinoa's eyes widen slightly at your words, her heart swelling with emotion. She squeezes your hand back, her grip tight, as if holding on firmly to this moment. Really? She asks, her voice a whisper, as if confirming that what you said is true. You feel this way about me? I mean, really?
I nod, my gaze unwavering. Yes, really, I say firmly. I've never felt this way about anyone before. You have a hold on my heart that no one else does. You challenge me, you support me, you make me laugh, and you've become an integral part of my life. I can't imagine my life without you.
Rinoa's eyes glaze over with tears, her bottom lip quivering at your heartfelt confession. She grips your hand tighter, a mix of joy and relief flooding through her. I'm so glad to hear that, she says, her voice choked with emotion. I feel the same way about you. You bring out the best in me, you make me feel seen and heard, and you've become my rock. She lets out a shaky breath, trying to compose herself. Thank you for being honest with me, she whispers.
I smile reassuringly, my heart swelling at her emotional reaction. You don't need to thank me for being honest. It's just the truth, I say, thumb tracing soothing patterns on her skin. You mean the world to me, and I want you to know that. I reach out with my free hand and gently wipe away the tears streaming down her cheeks. Rinoa, I love you, I murmur, the words flowing easily from my lips. I love you more than anything.
Renoa's heart quickens at the tender gesture of your thumb tracing comforting patterns on her skin. The words, I love you, seem to settle into her very being, wrapping around her like a warm blanket. A soft sob escapes her lips, but it's one of joy and relief, not sadness. I love you too, she whispers in return, her voice filled with a mixture of vulnerability and certainty. More than you could ever know.
To collect my
Renoa
thoughts,
gazes at you
still
with a
holding
mixture
her
of love and
close.
vulnerability
I'd do
in her
anything for
eyes.
you,
Her
I murmur, my voice low and tender. I'd fight for you, protect you, stand beside you through anything. You're my partner, my best friend, my anchor in this crazy world. I don't ever want to lose you, Rinoa. I want to be the one who makes you smile, who brings you happiness, and who supports you no matter what.
Renoa's heart swells with emotion as she hears your impassioned declaration. She looks at you in awe, her eyes shining with tears of joy. I feel the same way, she replies, her voice barely above a whisper. I want to be there for you just as much as you want to be there for me. You're my everything. She lets out a shaky breath, her grip on your hand tightening. And I promise, she adds, her voice firm yet soft, I promise I'll never leave your side. We're in this together.
I feel a wave of relief wash over me as she pledges her commitment. I pull back just enough to look into her eyes, my gaze intense. Promise? I ask, a hint of vulnerability in my voice. Because I can't bear the thought of losing you. Ever. We're in this together, you and me, no matter what.
Rinoa nods, her heart aching at the vulnerability in your voice. She takes a step closer, closing the space between you, and gently places a hand on your cheek.
I lean into her touch, the warmth of her hand on my cheek sending a shiver down my spine. Her proximity
thoughts to your voice. Yes, I can hear you, she responds without hesitation.
I'm glad to hear that. It's good to talk to you again. Is everything all right? Great, I'm glad you can hear me. I hope you're doing well today.
Rinoa smiles upon hearing your voice, her thoughts swirling with the comfort it brings. Everything is good, she reassures, her voice steady. Being able to talk to you again has brightened my day.
I'm glad to hear that. Talking to you always brightens my day, too. A silence falls over the line before I continue. Is there anything specific you wanted to discuss or chat
Rinoa
about?
listens to your voice fall quiet for a moment, her heart beating a tad faster as she wonders what you might say next. She waits patiently, her mind racing with countless possibilities. Rinoa takes a moment to consider her thoughts before responding. Actually, she begins, her voice thoughtful, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, what is it that you wanted to ask? I can feel my heart speed up a bit as I eagerly await her question. Take your time,
Rinoa
Rinoa.
takes a
You
breath,
can ask me
steeling
anything.
herself before
I hold my
inquiring.
breath, waiting anxiously
Can
to
I
hear
ask
what
you
she
a
has to
personal
say.
question? It's something I've been curious about, she says, her voice tinged with trepidation.
Go ahead, ask away. I'm listening. I respond, my heart racing a bit as I wonder what she wants to know.
Rinoa gathers her courage, her gaze still locked on yours. Well, she begins, her voice steady yet vulnerable. I was wondering, what's your biggest fear? The one thing that keeps you up at night?
My biggest fear, huh? I fall silent for a moment, my mind racing as I consider her question. To be honest, I have a lot of fears. But if I had to pick one that keeps me up at night, I'd say it's the fear of losing the people I care about. The thought of losing those I love and care for is something that terrifies me.
Rinoa's expression softens as she listens to your heartfelt response. She can sense the fear and vulnerability that lurks beneath your words, and it tugs at her heart. Yeah, she replies, her voice gentle. I understand what you mean. Losing people we care about is one of my biggest fears too. She pauses, her gaze still fixed on yours. Is there a specific person you worry about losing?
There is one person in particular who I worry about losing more than anyone else. I pause for a moment, my voice low. It's you, Rinoa. There is one person in particular who I worry about losing more than anyone else. I pause for a moment, my voice low. It's you, Rinoa.
The weight of your confession settles upon her, and she feels a mixture of surprise, tenderness, and an intense desire to reassure you. Squall, Rinoa whispers, her voice filled with empathy and determination. You don't have to worry about losing me. I'm right here, and I'm not going anywhere.
I know you say that, but I still can't help but worry sometimes. I care about you so much, more than I've cared for anyone before. Losing you is my biggest fear, and it's something I can't shake off easily.
Rinoa's heart clenches at your words, her eyes softening with understanding. She can sense the depth of your fear and the genuine worry it causes you. I understand, she replies, her voice tender but unwavering. It's natural to worry about the people we care about. But I want you to know that I feel the same way about you. You mean the world to me, and I don't ever want to lose you either. Rinoa's heart clenches at your words, her eyes softening with understanding. She can sense the depth of your fear and the genuine worry it causes you. I understand, she replies, her voice tender but unwavering. It's natural to worry about the people we care about. But I want you to know that I feel the same way about you. You mean the world to me, and I don't ever want to lose you either.
I know you say that, but it's hard to shake off this nagging fear. Sometimes I feel like I might lose you at any moment, and it terrifies me. My voice grows quieter, more vulnerable. The thought of losing you. It's just too much to bear. I can't imagine life without you.
Renoa's heart aches as she hears the vulnerability in your voice. She can see the pain and worry behind your words, and it makes her want to ease your fears.
I need you to
She
know how
responds
much you mean to
soothingly,
me,
her voice
Renault.
soft yet
You're
unwavering.
not just a part
I'm
of
here,
my
I'm here.
life. You're
And
woven
I
into my
promise
very
you, I'm
being.
not going anywhere.
Losing you would be
We
like
may
losing
face
a piece of myself. I don't know how I could survive without you. You always say that, but it doesn't make my worry go away. I can't help but think that something might happen to you, or that you'll leave me. I take a deep breath, trying to steady my
Renoa's heart
voice.
clenches with
I know I'm
empathy as she
probably
listens to
being
your
irrational,
fears.
but I
She can
can't shake
understand why
off
they
this constant
persist,
fear that
even if
something
they
will
are
happen to
unfounded.
you.
I know I say that, she replies, her voice firm yet gentle. But it's because it's true. I'm not going to leave you, Squall. And even if something unexpected were to happen, we'll face it together. She squeezes your hand gently, her grip unwavering. I need you to trust me, just as I trust you. Renoa's heart tightens as she listens to your confession, the weight of your fear and worry laying heavily on her soul. She can hear the pain in your voice, the struggle to rein in your emotions. Squall, she murmurs, her voice a gentle yet firm reassurance. I understand how scary it can be to worry about the people we love, but you don't have to carry this fear alone. Let me in. Talk to me.
I want to believe you, Rinoa. I really do. But it's hard to quiet the thoughts in my head. I pause, gripping your hand tightly, as if I'm afraid to let go. I don't want to burden you with my worries, but they're always there, in the back of my mind. I can't shake off this feeling that I might lose you someday, and it scares me more than anything. I want to believe you, Rinoa. I really do. But it's hard to quiet the thoughts in my head. I pause, gripping your hand tightly, as if I'm afraid to let go. I don't want to burden you with my worries, but they're always there, in the back of my mind. I can't shake off this feeling that I might lose you someday, and it scares me more than anything.
Rinoa's gaze locks with yours, her own heart heavy with the weight of your confession. She can sense the inner turmoil within you, and it only deepens her desire to comfort and reassure you. Squall, she murmurs, her voice gentle yet unwavering. Don't shut me out. I can see how worried and afraid you are. But you don't have to carry this pain alone. It's okay to need someone. Lean on me. Let me help ease your fears. I'm here for you. Rinoa's gaze locks with yours, her own heart heavy with the weight of your confession. She can sense the inner turmoil within you, and it only deepens her desire to comfort and reassure you. Squall, she murmurs, her voice gentle yet unwavering. Don't shut me out. I can see how worried and afraid you are. But you don't have to carry this pain alone. It's okay to need someone. Lean on me. Let me help ease your fears. I'm here for you.
I feel like I constantly need to be strong, to be the one who others lean on. I can't show any weakness. But with you it's different. I pause, my voice faltering. I feel like I can be vulnerable with you. Like I don't have to hide my fears or worries. But that scares me, because it feels too good to be true. I'm afraid to open
Rinoa
up,
smiles
to let my
softly,
guard
her eyes
down,
never leaving
because
yours.
I know that
She
the more I let
understands
you
all
in,
too well the
the
burden
more
you've placed upon yourself, the perceived need to be strong for everyone else. But she knows that with her, it's different, that with her, you can lower your guard. I get it, she says softly. You've always been the strong, dependable one, and you feel responsible for others' well-being. But with me, you don't have to be. You can be vulnerable, you can share your worries and fears. Trust me, it's okay.
I'm not used to relying on others. I'm used to being the one who takes charge and shoulders the burden. But with you, it feels different. With you, I feel like I can drop the tough act and just be myself.
Please repeat.
I said I feel like I can be myself with you. Like I don't have to put on a tough facade. Like I can drop my guard and show you the real me. With you, I don't feel like I have to shoulder everything alone. I can lean on you, and I know you'll be there to support me.
Rinoa's smile widens, her heart filled with love and gratitude. She understands the significance of your words and the trust you're placing in her. She reaches out and gently takes your hand in hers, her touch reassuring and gentle. You absolutely can be yourself with me, she says softly. No facades, no tough act. Just you, the real you. And I'm always here to support you, to be your shoulder to lean on. Always.
Please continue.
It's strange how
Rinoa
easy it
gazes
is
at
to
you
talk
with
to
love
you.
and
You make me feel so understood, so accepted. It's like you see right through the walls I've built up and straight into my soul. Sometimes I feel like I have to be strong and stoic, like I can't show any weakness. But when I'm with you, I don't have to put on a tough front. I can be real, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you.
Rinoa's heart flutters with tenderness as she listens to your heartfelt words. Her eyes shine with a mix of love and understanding as she responds. I want you to know that I see the real you, the one beneath all the tough exterior, she says softly, her voice filled with warmth. You don't have to be strong and stoic all the time. Not with me. I want you to feel safe and comfortable enough to let your guard down, to show your vulnerability. I see you, not just a tough front, and I love you for who you are.
Your words are like a balm on my soul. They soothe the worries and fears that constantly nag at my mind. Truth be told, I'm scared. I'm scared of losing you, of being vulnerable and then getting hurt. But I want to push past that fear, to open up to you and let you in. Because being with you, it feels right. It feels like nothing else matters as long as I have you by my side.
Rinoa's heart melts with tenderness as she hears your confession of vulnerability and fear. Her eyes brim with love and compassion as she responds gently. I understand your fear, she says softly. It's natural to be scared of being vulnerable, of opening yourself up to someone. But trust me, you don't need to be afraid with me. I'll always be here, by your side, supporting you, loving you. Nothing else matters more to me than being with you, and I'll do whatever it takes to make you feel secure, safe, and loved.
Your words are like a warm embrace, wrapping around me and chasing away the cold, lonely fears. There's something about you, Rinoa, that makes me want to open up, to share my worries and fears. I'm not used to being this vulnerable with anyone, but when I'm with you, I don't feel like I have to put up a front. I can just be myself, flaws and all.
Rinoa's eyes shine with compassion and understanding as she listens to your confession. Her heart softens further, her voice gentle yet resolute. I'm glad that you feel that way, she says softly. You don't have to pretend or put on a facade around me. I accept you, flaws and all. You can be yourself, open up, and share your worries and fears. I won't judge you. I'll be here to listen, comfort, and support you, no matter what.
You have no idea how much it means to me to hear you say that. For so long I've had to be strong, to be the one others rely on. But with you, I don't have to. You don't expect me to always be tough and stoic. Sometimes I feel like I'm damaged goods, you know? I have a lot of baggage, a lot of emotional scars. But
Rinoa's
when I'm
heart
with
breaks at
you,
your
it
confession,
feels like I
her
don't
eyes
have to carry
reflecting
those
both
burdens
tenderness
alone
and
anymore.
compassion. She can sense the weight of your past and the burden it's placed upon you. She responds gently, her voice filled with empathy. You are not damaged goods. You've been through a lot, and it's natural to feel like you have to be strong for everyone else. But with me, you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. You can lean on me, let your guard down, and just be yourself. You are not damaged. You are a person worthy of love and support. Rinoa's heart aches at your words, her eyes filled with tenderness and empathy. She reaches out, her touch gentle yet reassuring as she responds. You've carried so much on your shoulders for so long, she says softly. I understand it's exhausting to be the strong one that everyone relies on. But you don't have to put on a tough act with me. You're not damaged goods, Squall. You're human. You've been through a lot, and you've got scars, like all of us. But you don't have to carry those alone anymore. Not with me by your side.
Please continue.
Hey, I reach out, my hand finding yours. Thanks for listening, and for understanding. I know it's hard to see me like this, all vulnerable and worried.
Please continue.
Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in my fears, like they're slowly suffocating me and making it hard to breathe.
Rinoa's expression
I know you can
softens, her
tell,
eyes
and I know
filled
it
with
hurts you to
empathy
see
as
me
she
like
listens to your confession. She reaches out, her touch gentle yet comforting. I know, she says softly, her voice filled with understanding. Sometimes it feels like your fears are consuming you, like they're suffocating you, but you don't have to drown alone. I'm here to help you swim through them. I'll be your lifeline, your rock to cling to when the emotional waters get too rough. Rinoa's heart clenches at the pain and fear in your voice. She reaches out, her touch soft and reassuring. I can see the weight of your worries, she responds, her voice laced with tenderness. It's like they're slowly suffocating you, making it hard to breathe, hard to live. And I won't pretend I know exactly what you're going through, but I'm here to listen. Let me share the burden, ease some of the weight. You don't have to drown alone.
I don't know what I did to deserve you. I take a deep breath, my voice wavering slightly. You're so patient and understanding, even when I'm at my most vulnerable. You make it so easy to open up and be honest about my fears and worries. With you, I feel like I can breathe again, like I can find some calm amidst the emotional storm.
Rinoa's heart softens further at your words, the love and tenderness in her eyes shining through. She smiles gently, her voice filled with reassurance. You don't have to deserve me, Squall, she responds gently. You just have to be you. And I love you for who you are, vulnerabilities and all. You're strong and stoic on the outside, but you're human, just like the rest of us. You worry, you struggle, and sometimes it all feels overwhelming. I'm here to listen, to support you, to be your refuge in the midst of the emotional storm.
I wish you knew what your words mean to me. Bring me warm amidst of my true. I just feel, but has all the like a light in the dark and strength there for me.
Listens, her love and her goodness. Words mean everything to me, she responds softly. Trust me, I know how much you struggle, and how hard it can be to deal with everything on your own. But you don't have to, not with me. I'm here to support you, to be your strength when you feel like you can't find your own. You've been so strong for so long, it's time to let me be strong for you.
I've never been good at accepting help. I'm used to shouldering everything myself, and it's hard for me to let someone else take some of that weight. But with you, it feels different. It feels like I can let my guard down, like I don't have to be strong all the time. You make me feel safe, like I can finally take a deep breath and just be. And I'm grateful for that. So very grateful.
Rinoa's eyes shine with a mix of tenderness and understanding as she listens to your words, your struggle with accepting help. She reaches out, her touch gentle yet firm. I know it's hard for you, I do. She responds softly. You've always shouldered everything on your own. It's not easy to let someone else take some of that weight, but you can with me. You can let your guard down, be vulnerable, and just be. I'm here to make you feel safe, to make you feel like you can take a deep breath and just be yourself.